My favorite cabbage recipe has to be this Jamaican cabbage, which is steamed on the stovetop, and it is a family favorite. Now, if you've ever gone to a Jamaican restaurant and had some oxtails and brown stewed chicken and curry chicken, then I'm sure you've had a side of cabbage. And this is how my family makes it, and I'm excited to share it with you today. Now, let's get to the ingredients. But wait. If you're watching this video, I would love if you could click that subscribe button. That helps me produce and create more videos just like this one so that you can enjoy them at home. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like this video if you like Jamaican steamed cabbage. All right, let's get to the ingredients for real this time. I have got here a cabbage. I'm using green cabbage. You can find it at any grocery store, and I'm gonna use about half of this. Carrots, a Roma tomato, some garlic because that is a part of our generals, which will be garlic and yellow onion. I put that in almost every recipe. Salt, pepper, a little bit of water, oil, butter, and this really hot pepper. This is a scotch bonnet pepper. These are hard to find. I will say that for this year, I had to grow them just to get this one. But I also froze it so that way I could use it for later uses. If you cannot find a scotch bonnet pepper, you can sub a habanero pepper. You can also find scotch bonnet pepper sauce, and you can use that in this recipe as well. This recipe also calls for thyme, and this thyme is one that I get from my international market. It is a heartier thyme. Now, you might find a different kind of thyme that's known as French thyme in your regular grocery stores. You can also use that, but that's gonna be a little bit sweeter than this hearty, herby thyme. That smells so good. All right, now let's get to prepping our ingredients. So the first thing we're gonna do is mise en place, which is a fancy term to say prep all our ingredients. This is something that I prefer to do, so that way when I start to cook on the stove, I don't have to worry about chopping and watching the heat on the stove. So we're gonna do that right now. So I'm gonna cut this medium head of cabbage in half. Ew. Look, I can't even get right down the middle. Voila. Ooh, smells like cabbage. Great, cabbagey. All right, and I'm basically gonna slice it in half, and then I'm gonna take this and slice this into like, not too thin of pieces, but about medium-ish chunks. And I wanna get about maybe 4 cups of this. I'm not gonna keep that core piece. That's gonna take too long to soften. Get rid of the outer layers. It's like less than 4 cups. I'm gonna cut a little bit more off this head of cabbage. Right. Yeah, that should be enough. I'll save that for later. And always remember that full detailed ingredients and instructions on these recipes can be found on my website. I'll leave a link down in the description below. Now you can see that I'm only using half of this head of cabbage. For that other half, save it for other recipes. I've got a delicious Jamaican style corned beef and cabbage that you could prepare with that other head of cabbage. All right, so I've got all this cabbage. I'm gonna move that to my side, the side. I'm also gonna prep my garlic by chopping this up. Let's see, I like to get all these little teeny pieces off. All right, and now we are going to cut our Roma tomato. Just chop that. Yeah, I don't want the little hard parts. You would think I would wipe the vegetables off the knife after I did it, but they're all going in the same place. It's all gonna cook in one pot. Got that to the side. All right, and now my carrots. So this recipe calls for 2 carrots. You can go between 1 or 2. I might use just 1 today. Anyways, I'm gonna show you how you prep your carrots for this recipe. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna peel that outer layer. And you could, if you washed your carrots good enough, you could eat them. But I like to get that outer layer off. I actually might snap on that. I really like carrot skin. I'm gonna set that to the side. And then I'm gonna continue to use my peeler to actually basically cut the carrots into very thin layers. And we will use that into the recipe. So this is how my mom does it. Rather than trying to cut the carrot thinly, just use that peeler and just continue to peel it. And that's the way you can cut it. Let me take that. I'm gonna eat that. This is a good carrot. I'm also gonna chop a yellow onion. So I would say this is one of those dishes that is I would say specialized dish that I got from my mom. And when I asked her for the recipe, I was like, Mommy, can you share how to make your cabbage? She's like, yeah, just put a lick of this, a lick of that, whatever she says, you know. And I'd be like, Ma, I need measurements. And she was like, just watch me now. So she showed me how to do it. And then I had to basically sit there and do my little notebook. And then, you know, I had to make it myself so that I can get measurements. But that kind of teaches you something about cooking. Like, cookings, you don't really need exact measurements all the time. Like, it's more about knowing approximately how much to use and more about technique. So, lesson. Also, I'm about to cry. Is it because I'm talking about my mommy? All right, and I've also got some scallion here, or green onion, and this is basically one of those onions that you're gonna find in a lot of Caribbean dishes. I don't know why these are so big right here, but I'm just gonna chop these as well. I'm still crying. And then oh gosh, it's like peppers. It smells so fresh. Oh gosh. All right, so our last bit of prep and cutting will be our hot pepper, AKA the Scotch bonnet. And this is one that I grew outside. Maybe I should have cut it. Oh, I got her. Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, success. One pepper. This is beautiful, man. Anyways, my advice would be to wear gloves when you're cutting these hot peppers because the oils can stay on your hand, and if you accidentally touch your face or your nose, it would be very hot. Why am I not wearing gloves? Because I like to live on the wild side. No, but I've gotten better at not touching my face after I cut a hot pepper. Also, if you don't want it too spicy, I would say remove these seeds in the membrane. Oh gosh, it smells so spicy. Yeah, but I'm gonna keep a little bit of a seed in to keep it a little bit spicy. You just want a little sliver of it to add flavor and just a hint of spice. Yeah. And again, if you can't find this, you could totally use a habanero pepper. I've even heard some people say they've used jalapeno, or you could just leave it out if you don't like spicy food. Bam. All right, let's go put all this in a pot and cook it up. Or pan. It's really a pan. Let's do it. So I've got here a pretty much medium-sized saucepan, and I'm gonna add all my ingredients in. Come on, cabbage and carrots. And I'm not preheating the pot. I'm not sauteing anything because this is technically steaming it. So we're just gonna put all those veggies in there. All the onion, tomatoes. Look, I'm over here making a mess. That's just silly. Just dump. And make sure your pot is big enough to handle it all. It's a lot. It smells so good. It smells fresh. It smells fresh. All right. And then I'm gonna break my thyme pieces. At least try to, I'm gonna still put them in whole, but kind of give them a little bit of a head start. And I'll take out these stems before I serve it. I'm also adding a little bit of oil, as well as a teeny little bit of water. Now, if you don't want to add water, you don't. It's not going to take away the flavor, but it's also, your cabbages and vegetables are going to release their own water, but that's just a precaution to make sure that it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. And I've got here some butter for fat and flavor. just put that in there as well. I'm just gonna put this in the corner. Yeah, there we go. All right, and I'm gonna season it with salt and pepper later, but for now, and so now that I've added all these ingredients to this pot, I am going to cover it and put this over medium heat for about 10 minutes to get it going. Medium heat. Don't want to burn it. All right, so it's been about 7 minutes. I'm just gonna check and see. You can see everything's starting to soften. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of a stir. Look, some of it on the bottom started to burn a little bit. That's why you need that water. And give it a little bit of a toss. You can see that it's already started to soften. I'm gonna turn mine down a little bit. And I'm also gonna add some salt and black pepper. I'm gonna actually do that now. So let me add, I'm gonna add about 2 teaspoons of kosher salt. Ugh. Remember, if you're using regular table salt, just add a little bit less than that. I'm also gonna add some freshly ground black pepper. Ooh. All right, so it's been about 10 minutes, and I'm gonna go ahead and reduce my heat to low and allow this to continue to cook for another 5 minutes. Until it is softened to my liking. I'll be back. Our cabbage is done, yay! And I'm gonna remove these big old thyme stalks. Let's get rid of those. And voila. So your cabbage is done when it's pretty much softened to your liking. You don't want it to be too mushy, and all that water got released from the veggies and the oil and the butter. And so you've got this wonderful, delicious side dish. So much flavor, so much veggies. Okay, I'm gonna plate it up. Oh my gosh, I have plated a big old bowl of the cabbage, and I added a little bit more black pepper to the top because I like a lot of black pepper. Anyways, now it's time for the taste test. Looks so juicy. I gotta say, thank you, Sonia, AKA Mommy, for this recipe because this is delicious. All right, guys, I hope you like this one. And until the next time, bye. I need some curry chicken. That's what I need. And oh, it's right there. I was looking for this, but in reality, this is too tall. Is everything still? Oh, hello. Yes. Okay. But I was like, I'll take it. Hello there. Here's how I look very up close. Very up close. Okay, is this in anybody?